Hello, I am Fiona Sitkin, a host of The Bridge for Women Worldwide, a talk show. Today I'm hosting the third talk show, and its um, title is Women Worldwide on the Rise, Becoming an Inclusive Leader in the USA. Our guest today is Maya Strelar-Migotti, former SVP and head of Ericsson Silicon Valley, now CEO of 4PIA Inc. Also, she is a executive board member of a very important company, ACG Silicon Valley. Um, our show is based on my HuffPost blogs and on my recent book, How They Made It in America. Um, they are very important people who I featured in the book, and one of them is Maya Strelar-Migotti, our guest. Welcome to the show, Maya. Hello.
Hello, Fiona. Thank you very much for inviting me. It means a lot. It's an honor to be regarded as someone who you believe that can share its little bits of insights and, as you say, experiences to you and your audience. So thank you for having me. And I would like to tell you also, it's great that what you are doing, the awareness of immigrant women and our battle, and putting stories that will inspire all those women that are in the country. Doesn't matter if they are born in America or they immigrated to America. We learn from our own skin, but we also learn from other people's skin. So thank you very much.
And thank you. It's an honor for me that you are giving me the interview. Well, Maya Strelar-Migotti came to the United States 12 years ago as a career expatriate for Ericsson Silicon Valley. And when she was appointed a VP and head of Ericsson Silicon Valley, she knew better than to be a domineering boss. Why? Because her previous assignments in Australia, in Spain, in Sweden, well prepared her for this important executive position. Maya proved to be a never give up professional and also an outstanding feminist promoting women engineers. She is culturally sensitive, a truly inclusive leader, the kind that our country needs desperately at this time. So welcome to the show, Maya.
Thank you very much, Fiona.
My first question to you would be, with your glorious career in technology, many people would love to know how it all started when you were growing up in Zagreb, Croatia, former Yugoslavia. What was the promise of technology for you?
So, if there was anything good in the former communist Yugoslavia, then it was schools. Schools were very good, and those that were studying hard and have a good achievements really could make a career and choose to study whatever they qualify for. So that was really great. As a high school student, I was an astronomer, and it was not really possible to study astronomy in Yugoslavia. And then my astronomical society said, if you finish mathematics, physics, or electrotechnical university, we will send you to postgrad studies of astronomy in USA. I said, oh, great. And this is how I entered Electrotechnical University of Zagreb and started studying electrical engineering. At the end, instead of going to postgrad to US, I married and got a kid. So everything, at the end, I still did finish in US, but many years later.
I see. So that was the start. Nice. You traveled all over the world and worked in many countries. What was the global mindset for you? How important it was in your work?
It was extremely important, and I had that advantage to enter Ericsson, which is a big global company, and put a lot of emphasis on the different cultures. And when you are sent to a country, you have a team of people that work with you. You go on, you have a cultural training, how to behave in the different societies and so on. When I started at Ericsson 87, the world was not that global as it is today, because today through internet and globalization and
Right.
we live in,
Yes.
we never lived in so unified world with more understanding and, you know, the music, the culture, the movies, everything. It was not really like that in 87. So
Yes.
I had to start coming from a company that was global and put a lot of emphasis on different culture, and we got all the support that we needed. And the countries, it's not the countries that I lived and worked, it's also the countries where I had customers, when I had to travel, deal with customers, or design centers around the world, which I had. And it's really different running your design office in Brazil or in Shanghai. Huge difference, or Bangalore. And you have to take consideration how people think, how people feel, what is culturally and socially okay to say and to do, and what is not.
Well, so yeah, you had great experiences. And Maya, you are known for promoting innovation and creativity big time when in Ericsson and beyond. Could you say a few words about it? What were the ways?
Well, it's another, I think that when you choose engineering, it's also very much like for many people, it's very much like a calling. So you like that every year you have to learn something new, and you have to innovate in order to stay competitive. We have seen in technology companies that flourish, fabulous, great, and then disappear within the 7 years.
Right.
So the span of your initial product is very short, because you have to permanently develop, look at the market, innovate, and so on. And especially, so Ericsson is 143 years old company, and if it was not innovative, it would be gone a long time ago. So I had, again, advantage to be in a company that put a lot of effort in innovation. Furthermore, when I came to become a head of Ericsson in Silicon Valley, I was wondering, now I'm in cradle of innovation of all world technology. How can I make my design centers around the world more innovative? What do I have to do? And I worked with a company idea in Silicon Valley and established the process for innovation, which was adopted across the different design centers. And I also believe that in order to prevail today, you have to all the time innovate, not only in your adjacent markets, you have to innovate also in disruptive areas, like, for example, Apple.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good example. Yes. Maya, I called you an executive feminist in my book because you were promoting women engineers and even created women in leadership group. Now, how exactly does it work, or did it work?
This is a tough one. First of all, you have to have a willing subject. Many times I have approached women to take a next step in career, but they have been already so disappointed and beaten up with the environment. And, if you over the years put someone down and don't let go forward, it's very hard that suddenly you are 42 and you say, oh, really, I want to be a leader. So if you, in order to promote that, whatever, in every place where I was, I always worked through the managers. And you can't just have a group of women that want to empower themselves and so on. You have to involve all managerial structure to put an effort and education for women. And it's very good that this becomes organized, like I was doing that through Women in Leadership organization. But I had been also very active in Silicon Valley, for example, in Watermark, and also in G organization. So am I executive feminist? I would more say I'm executive with equal opportunity for all the gender, all the culture, because what I'm driven with is a competence and creating diverse team, as they produce much better results than unified.
Right. Still, talking about women, is the situation for women in technology changing for the better today, or is it changing for the worse because of the pandemic and unemployment, or is it stuck and on the same level? That's a big question.
It is a big question and very complicated, because when you talk about this pandemic and the world, how it's changing, I think the changes that are happening socially and business-wise are huge. And we cannot grasp them now. We will need some time to see how much our way of living and working has changed and what this means for the women employees. I think that the opportunity for example, if you look women in technology or a woman in STEM, now we're much more working from home and so on, and you are judged on the different ways and you have much more focus on deliveries. I believe it should not jeopardize a gender. I don't believe that inequalities are going to be bigger in what we are, but I am very concerned about impact on family, impact on gender suffering, on the different ways. We have seen that there's a lot of domestic violence, and who are most vulnerable are children and women all over the world. So that is my much bigger concern. When we talk about the technology, everything comes in waves. So when I entered technology, there were not that many women entering engineering. In 80s, a lot of women entered engineering. For example, I know that in US, like 30% of all engineering students were women. But then it dropped to, in recent years, maybe to 11%. So what it actually creates, it creates the pool of the newcomers to the company is not genderly balanced, which means you have far less women entering this type of the profession. Although software engineering is a little bit more, because the statistic is showing that software engineering has higher percentage of female students. So this is good, because in order to create a balanced environment and have enough big pool to select your leaders, and that makes the difference. It's very hard if you have only 11% of the female employees, like some companies have. And many companies are putting the programs, like Ericsson do the program, Intel put that program. I know that Google and Facebook, everybody's worked very hard on getting diversity and gender diversity. And many of these companies are also investing in STEM education, because you have to start in a primary school. You have to start with K1 to K8 and then to K12 in attracting more girls to the STEM subjects. So Intel put like a lot of money into these programs. So let us see how the future looks like. Definitely US is behind Europe in amount of women studying and entering this profession.
Yes. So you put an emphasis on education. I understand this as a professional educator. Everything comes to the root, to education.
Exactly.
I would love to ask you, how do you support women entrepreneurs and their investors as a managing director of the Golden Seeds company?
So Golden Seeds is an organization that supports, that is investing in a woman-led companies. Woman has to be one of the owners or have a big role in the company, like a CEO or a TCO and so on. And I was attracted to that one because when I joined that angel investment group, I liked that women are very practical in their innovation and always want to resolve some problems. I have tried many other investment teams and so on, and I like most Golden Seeds. I think that 80% of all the investors are females, but we have 20% of men as well.
Good.
And I like, when you are investing, you always have a high risk that your money will be lost. And I thought, I'm going to invest with the heart. So when I lose money, I lost it with my heart. And so I'm investing usually in the women health or something that would benefit the society health, or schools and so on.
Yeah, that's right. Well, thank you. That's very interesting. And what do you do in your role as an executive board member of ACG Silicon Valley? Why is this organization important?
So I until recently was executive board member of ACG Silicon Valley. I was there for like 7 years, and that organization. So when you live in an area like Silicon Valley, everything is about thought leadership. Everybody focus how to learn from someone else. There is a huge sense of community, and people are willing to share their experiences and technology and way forward. So this is what is the vibe of the Silicon Valley. That's why that place is creating much more innovation than anyone else, because there is this community thought leadership and craving for learning more. So I was board member developing that organization, connecting different people, supporting it and enabling. This is also some kind of a learning, enabling a platform where different executives from the Silicon Valley company would meet and discuss and talk, and we would bring the best possible people from different branches of science or technology, business, marketing, and put there on different panels. So it was also very much educational and connecting, because you have to be connected. So the organization was very much, the global organization US is very much focused on M&As, acquisition, investments, and so on, while in Silicon Valley, we created a branch that was very much focused on the thought leadership and the technology advancements.
Exchange of ideas, right?
Exchangeable ideas and also connections, because connections is extremely important for leaders.
For leaders.
Absolutely.
For leaders. Okay. Yes. It is my understanding, Maya, that you are now at the cutting edge of artificial intelligence technology in your role of CEO of 4PIA Inc. Could you tell us more about it?
So this is one of the companies that I did invest, and my very good friend started a company. This is in political domain. Our current niche is a political domain. So what we are looking, we are doing a lot of social listening and trying to figure out what is the feeling of the people. Who is going to win? The company in 2016 predicted that Trump is going to win, and no one believed, my friend, Rani Yadav, Ranjan, that's the company, that this is really going to happen. We all laughed because the polls for Hillary were so high. And this is very interesting. You know, the AI actually is a number of very, very sophisticated algorithms that are looking which words are people using when answering on tweets. And based on which words and so on, you have this sentiment analysis, which tells you what really that person thinks, and people to vote up and down and so on. So the AI is the one that actually brings this this AI analysis. Who is currently high in the people, whom people will vote, because many times you don't want to really say for whom you are going to vote. Because in your area, maybe, in your friends and so on, you will be very unpopular. And but the way how you respond, when your social, what you put out and comment, and what you like and dislike when it's coming, is actually telling a lot who has a higher chances to.
So,
and don't ask who's going to win.
No, I'm not asking. I'm afraid to hear the answer, maybe. Anyway, so this software and this company is analyzing the speech flow and thinking about the guts of the person, what that person thinks by the way they're expressing their ideas, right?
So the company, actually, first we have a list of all the 536 congressmen and the president, the president's page, and then we pull out all the tweets that our top representatives are tweeting, and then you can see the words, and you can see what do Democrats, what do Republicans. You can see all the tweets on one place. You can also see how many likes, dislikes they have got from our users. And also, when you tweet something, people answer your tweets. And then you can see what words they use, and then you can get this. So it's sort of like a platform that simplifies for ordinary user. Doesn't have time to watch a lot of TV, which is very, very, the TV that we have today, there is a lot of biasness wherever what watching. So we made that platform for the people that actually want to have a very brief understanding what is happening today and what our top guys have tweeted, what they have tweeted, not what someone commented or said or fake news and so on. Everything comes from 536 plus photos.
Thank you so much. I have a lot of respect for artificial intelligence. My husband is in artificial intelligence, so I have a many idea of what it is and respect it. Well, and thank you so very much for explaining it in more detail. Maya, yours is an amazing American success story with many lessons for me and for our listeners as well. A round of applause for Maya. And now for my personal opinion on this. I would like to say that Maya exemplifies all 7 success values from my book. And this is in part 2. Maya is really #1 in character building and inclusive leadership and strategic thinking. So reading the book and the second chapter of it, the second part of it, you can read more about it and about Maya. Now, let us summarize our interview, Becoming an Inclusive Leader in the United States. I believe we can have 3 takeaways from the interview. 1, it is possible for a woman of foreign descent to become a corporate leader in America. 2, strong women like Maya Strelar-Migotti are very outstanding role models, very worthy role models for inclusive leadership. And 3, order the book, How They Made It in America, to learn how to become a leader in the United States. Finally, I invite all of our listeners to connect with us via these links. You may ask questions and comment and write anything in person for me using YouTube link, my email, and the book website. Thank you so much for listening to us. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.